Hello guys, and welcome back to Power and Revolution 2020 edition with our newly started Israel playthrough. I just want to reiterate just for one last time, if you are new to this series or this channel and you like GPS content, this is my third now playthrough, so if these videos aren't being released enough for you, you can go back and check out my Brazil and China playthroughs if those interest you. Now, picking up where we left off, we have a couple issues that we are currently facing. One that I didn't mention last episode was that we're currently in a conflict with Egypt, which might sound like, wait, what? When did that happen? Well, it didn't. So I got a message just saying there were unusual troop movements at our border, which is really just talking about, let me show you. This. Just this. It's just some infantry on our border, basically. It's hardly even our border. It's more like Palestine's border, but they felt the need to point it out to me. And it has spawned a latent conflict between us and Egypt. A latent conflict means nothing's happening, but it's a conflict nonetheless, because the game thinks that Egypt is putting troops on my border. So it's not just on me, it's also there for Palestine as well. It's also there for Palestine. And curious, why did it show Saudi Arabia? Latent conflict with Saudi Arabia. I wonder what that's about. They don't, well, I guess they do kind of border Saudi Arabia, but I don't know how that could happen. I don't know where he has troops that, or what he did to make Saudi Arabia think they were in a conflict. We got another about $500,000 from the left-wing billionaire. I gotta tell you, the left-wing billionaire always gives you less money than the right-wing billionaire, no matter what side you're on and no matter who likes you more. We got another partial dismantlement for the Martyrs of God, so let's go ahead and set up another infiltration in the Martyrs of God and place these guys under surveillance. Now, I don't think we have enough. No. So I noticed this last episode as well, but I didn't show it. Apparently, with this amount of agents on our territory, despite having barely any territory, we don't have enough to infiltrate the Russian mafia and the Martyrs of God. So rather than spend money, I'm just going to focus on the Martyrs of God, because the mafias don't actually tend to do anything actively. They contribute to your crime ratings, but they don't tend to actively cause any issues most of the time. So I do want to continue getting Congress's power lowered down so that they cannot vote any motions of no confidence. So let's check this out. So this is how much money we have in the party budget at the moment. It's like $15,337,538 to get the opinion of the people and of Parliament. Both equally cost about 29 grand, which is kind of ridiculous, especially since you can spam this. But while we still need to go through Parliament, and we are a democracy, which I still don't know if I'm going to transition out of or not, we're gonna just make sure everyone's good with it. So the people won't be that happy about it. They were happy about this change, but they won't be too happy about this. But the Parliament would potentially vote for it. So I'm gonna try to get it through with a television appearance, actually. I haven't used any television appearances yet. That's usually pretty good to get things like this through. This effectively gets rid of Parliament's power to vote me or my government out of power, just in the middle, just because they don't like something I do. So I'm gonna boost that up with a television thing. And we're going to go hit play, and hopefully that works out pretty well. Let's see. All right, so with the television appearance, there's almost a 70%, about 69% chance that it will go through, I guess. That's not what that means. There's 69% of them are going to vote yes. I can't believe that they're so split. It's so weird that one party could be so split. You don't really see that in America. Look at that negative human rights hit. Because technically, by getting rid of Parliament's power to basically checks and balance me, that is a human rights issue. I'm taking power away from the people by making it so the people's elected representatives cannot remove their government from power if it becomes necessary. But I hate dealing with democracies in some instances. Depends on the game. In this game, democracies are annoying. It's like more annoying than anything else in the whole fucking game. But, well, except the bugs. But I'm tempted to put up a Tobin tax. Now, for those that don't know what a Tobin tax is, the game describes it as it applies to international financial translation and is aimed at limiting speculation. What this essentially means is every time somebody takes, for example, your currency and tries to sell it for some other currency or vice versa, then you put a tax on the transaction. This is used to essentially keep the value of your currency stable, stop it from fluctuating, and keep it attractive and valuable as per your standards. Usually you would go about this by using your interest rate instead, but this method was essentially created after the gold standard was removed from the US economy specifically, which was right around the time it started being removed from everywhere. And the Tobin tax was essentially created to add some level of stability that is simply not present or wasn't present initially in a fiat currency system or non-gold standard system. So I do want to get this because it is a decent way to make money. If I get it to 0.05%, so that would mean, for example, for every dollar that you try to convert, you would pay 5 cents. The amount Tobin actually wanted was 0.5%, so it would be like 50 cents on every dollar traded. I don't think I can get it that high, and as far as I'm aware, there's no perfectly concluded optimum percentage for the Tobin tax. Most countries, I think, don't even bother with it. I wanted to poll more than the people. The parliament is barely on my side for getting it to 0.05%. That's already, like, pushing it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this through. It will earn me a budget economy of over $1 billion, which, while that may not sound like a lot, especially if you watch my past 2 playthroughs, do take into account we're a much smaller country, and this amount of money means a lot more to us as Israel than it did to us as China. This is one way of starting to lower the deficit and maybe get out of debt. The president of Georgia wants to meet with me. Georgia. Huh. Oh, hey, Georgia really likes me. Georgia really likes me. Maybe we can get something going with Georgia. I could have sworn I tried setting a meeting with them at some point, but I guess not. Reduced powers, popular demonstration. Yeah, there was some sort of, I don't know, sit-in or something. But it looks like it ended really quickly, so it's not really our problem. Another thing that happened that I didn't mention before I actually started the first episode was at the very beginning of the game, Pakistan had like a nuclear meltdown at Balochistan or something with 150,000 dead in the radiation already. That's a pretty poor start for Pakistan, if I say the least. We also have our meeting with Georgia here.
I didn't come empty.
All right, what do you want? You would like to purchase from me some fowl. I forgot to point that out too. Before the start of the first episode, I also sold some fowl already. This is a pretty similar setup to the last one. I'm just gonna... Let's see if you're actually willing to negotiate. Let's do 860, yeah, 1865.1. No, let's do 0.09. And send that over. You are willing to negotiate. Cool. 1,700 would be a better price than what I got off the last guy, if he does give me this price. That being said, the amounts are small, just a few million, but I will accept his offer then of 1664.64 for a very small amount of fowl. Let me give you a coffee. You think we could be friends, Georgia? Because I noticed you really liked me. What about an alliance? Yep, we got a new ally. We got an ally in Georgia. Maritime, even though you don't really have any sea borders we can use. Air, okay, cool. This is usually where it's tricky. For land, they usually get real picky and they want you to give them everything too. Oh, but that's not even enough for Georgia. Okay, well, I guess we'll just end that meeting there. To show you the contract that I made prior to the start of the game, here it is. It's with Jamaica. They came to me asking to purchase fowl. It's a small amount for a small amount of money. It's about twice our sales price, so it's definitely a profit. Ignore the frowny face. The only reason it's a frowny face, look, big Real happy smiley face, sell much better price than usual, substantial profits. It's because I didn't try to sell my whole fucking economy, and because it's insignificant as a whole compared to my total GDP that it seems like it's bad. But the way they rate this is really stupid. This right here is the most important thing when actually trying to eke out a good deal in an offer that came to you rather than vice versa. And I accomplished this. I don't even have enough surplus production in order to get happy faces in any of this. Okay, so we just got some big negative hits here, but it only added up to a small amount despite the faces, as the law on the power of Parliament has gone through and we've now gotten them to vote only.
The bill has been voted on,
and the law on the tax on financial transactions has gone through as well. That should end up increasing our income. It doesn't usually reflect immediately, but I do wonder if we could eke out a higher tax there. We are being alerted that Japan has discovered 3 different researches, and looks like almost all of them are stuff that they're just going to keep, which is unfortunate. The weekly financial calculations have gone through, so we can see the effect of the Tobin tax here. It's giving us not as much estimated as it said it would, but it is giving us a decent amount. I wonder if I could get that up another... Yeah, because it said it was going to give us like 1.3 billion. It's giving us like almost 900 million, about 875 million. I wonder if I could get that up another 0.5%. No. Parliament's not for it. What about... The people are for it. The people like it. It's something that can hurt or slow down the economy potentially. It's not that bad of a thing. Oh, our unemployment's going down surprisingly quickly. I am still hiring more soldiers, so that could be part of it, but our growth could just be resulting in it as well. Our inflation is surprisingly pretty stable right now. It spiked up at the beginning just because our interest rate here starts at 0.10%. You can't even set the interest rate that low if you try in this game. The lowest you can get it to otherwise is typically 0.50%. The fact that I can lower it even more is quite crazy. Maybe when you get to 0.50, it lets you start having it or something. I'm not sure. So I've been looking around and experimenting with my options in order to eliminate the deficit. But as it stands, it's just going to continue to balloon until we can get a different set of seats filled in the parliament to set in motion some other taxes, or we cut things like healthcare. Specifically, healthcare is all we really have left to cut, so much that our people end up hating and overthrowing us. So I find my only option is to simply cut the middleman out, to cut out Parliament. Now the problem is I've already pulled it, so I'm not going to pull it again because it's a waste of money. They're not going to agree to the consultative role, no real power. But I'm going to try to finagle it a little bit. So we're going to create a new reform called Save Israel from Debt Reform. It's a really weird reform for getting rid of the powers of Congress, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to create this reform. And now, as you see, it's about 50-50. We're halfway. So let's see what else we can combine with it. I think anything in this tab can be used. So I know that because this is a majority party, that they would really like this. I've already pulled it. So I'm going to add it to the Save Israel from Debt Reform. I haven't checked what the people think about it. So this could end as a death for all I know. Wow, that barely made a budge in it. That barely made a fucking budge in it. So you know what? We're going to also meet with the fucking guy. We're going to meet with him and see if we can convince him to stand up for it and vote for it. The people are already screaming and crying, human rights, yada yada. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Maybe I can take this opportunity to... Yeah, I'm gonna take this opportunity to meet one of my other campaign goals. It's gonna cost a little bit of money, unfortunately, but it will improve our unemployment. So there you go, that should make people happier. Sure. Let's offer you everything. You're radiant. You're awesome. Proud of their leader. Honest. Okay, he doesn't like that one. But he still likes me, right? Oh, damn, that kind of hurt it. Okay, well, let's see. Determine the powers of Parliament. Support it.
wasn't planning to, but I'll do anything to make you happy.
Oh, damn right you will. Nice. Alright, so what else can we do? Just
No problem.
alright, so we're supporting both of them. So he's going to support both of them, and so he should encourage the others to do it as well. I don't know if that reflects immediately or not. In fact, it looks like it's only gotten worse. I could potentially try to give them another term, right? They'd probably love that. So let's add that to the Save Israel from Debt reform. Okay, cool. All I had to do was offer to increase the length of the time that they were serving, and now they're all for it. Well, they're not all for it, but enough of them are for it that it's going to go through. I'll keep a close eye on that because I don't know exactly how that's going to go. If we go to elections, yeah, so I've upheld all my election promises. Cool. Okay, and this was inevitable. There's a riot because... Yep. Oh my god. There's a riot because of this. I mean, that was inevitable. But...
Our infiltrated agent.
Oh, and our infiltrated agent was spotted and murdered. Again. I say again because it's happened another time this episode. I just haven't shown it yet. So let me see the situation here. Yes, so the police are already getting overrun and beaten up by the very peaceful protesters. There's not much police in this city, and there's certainly not enough in the area. So this is going to require a lot of micromanagement. I will save you the pain of having to watch a full episode of me microing probably soldiers in order to shut this down, though. So the riot is over. The US has discovered bionics, which is something, and they're just using it for themselves, which is unfortunate. We're liberating the protesters, setting an example. Oh, so they, of course, someone wants me to lower my salary, which I really should. The leader of Israel gets paid quite a lot. Your extremely dictatorial bill. Listen, that is a subjective interpretation of my attempt to free us from debt, okay? You'll be happy when I do get us out of debt and then start getting the ability to make your lives a lot better. And now we have a sit-in. We have a sit-in. I used my appearance on television recently, so I'll just see how this goes for now, and then I'll use it if it gets out of hand, I guess.
Our governmental cell informed me
Potential
that
former
had the
Palestine?
opportunity to approach
Remember my
the
response to this
President
request if it comes up again.
my calculation,
That's really
using
cool. They didn't have this in the
financial
2019 edition.
Chicago school, naturally.
Hell yeah. Alright, yeah, get everyone you can in Palestine, of course. I would always answer yes to that. I would have no reason not to. And now the same for Lebanon, but it remembered my answer. It still gave me the alert, but it remembered my answer. What is this? China discovers the corn-based biodegradable plastic. Apparently I never viewed that. In preparation for the coming debuff of popularity, I'm just going to go ahead and order literally all of the uninhabitable buildings in the country be repaired because we have that kind of manpower. It will cost money, but it's a one-off kind of payment. And the less dilapidated housing you have, I believe that means the less you have overall the next year as well. It will help homelessness. It will help poverty, which should hopefully technically increase the tax rates anyway. See here, we got a nice little buffer. Humanitarian and housing. Yes, yes, see? There you go. See, I am a friend to humanitarian values. Yo, the new faces and graphics in the 2020 edition are really freaking me out still. The armed forces are with me. That's good. Are you really? Oh yeah, you like me. Alright, good. I'm glad you like me. That means I have a chance, an excuse, to go ahead and clean out some more of your bases. Let's proceed with this one. Yeah, let's take apart this one now. So we're gonna start transporting all of this stuff out. And what is this? Roads are blocked. Yep. So there's no more sit-in, I think, but the roads are blocked now. It'll pass. The situation's tense. Yeah, the sit-in's done, and now they're blocking the roads. Like I said, it'll pass. They'll get over it. I'll spend some money. I'll cheer them up, and now that Congress is no longer worth anything, I'll be able to actually fix their problems for them. You know, I should probably just collect all the commandos into one place. We only have 100 commandos. So yeah, let me do that. Where are just all of our commandos? All of them. Commandos. These are our helicopters. Here's our commandos. Allocate them all just to the to Jerusalem. There you go. Easy. Whew. That's lag right there, is what that is. Let's see how this is going. So, after one day, the number of demonstrators is already down by 20,000. Technically, a roadblock going on that long anyway is already pretty crazy. We're taking some continuous popularity hits, unfortunately, from it, but I'll look into fixing that. Oh, Egypt lost an oil refinery during their encounter with total jihad in this area. Interesting. Let's free the roads. No, not yet. They're down another 10,000, I think. Or maybe they're down 0, but I haven't taken another popularity hit yet, so far so good. How much longer until this actually goes through? Our percentage has gone down by 2%, so that's a little scary. It will go through on date of vote 6/6, so we have another week until it goes through. Oy vey. Alright, what do you want?
I know
He's dismissed.
But you see,
Get him a job?
has just been dismissed for
Bro.
reasons.
No.
Currently,
Who the fuck do you think? You think I'm corrupt? Just because I'm removing Congress that I'm corrupt? I'm doing this for good reasons. I'm a very moral human being. Oppose the text of the bill at all costs. You know, it always says that immediately after you ask them for their vote. It always says that. Brazil wants to meet with me. Cool. Roadblocks. Shock the country. There's assault. Yeah, I know. But look, they're down another 10,000. If we can just survive this, then we'll be good. Look, I could probably, make people happy by clearing up some censorships or something. Or maybe not. I don't really know. I don't need to do anything just yet. Side note, I'm going to set nuclear missiles to start producing in secret. We already have 80, so we might as well keep producing more, because the AI really does weigh in the amount of nukes before it does anything in this game. Okay, good news. The highways have been liberated. The bad news: now there's demonstrations by the National Anti-Racism Organization about racism and police brutality. Are you fucking kidding me? I have done nothing of the sort to make you think that I am... There's not even enough police in the country. What do you mean brutality? What the hell do you mean? Hey, look at that. I just got a little boost in popularity for meeting all my electoral promises. Nice. And the very scary leader of Brazil wants to talk to me. He didn't look this scary with the 2019 graphics when we played as Brazil. But now with these new graphics, he looks terrifying. He looked pretty nice in the other one. Alright, what does he want? He wants to sell me cereal, for which our purchase price is surprisingly high. Or maybe it's low, but Brazil's is even lower. We consume way more than we produce. Okay, well, let's see about this. Let's see if you're willing to negotiate. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here. Let's send that over. Okay, you are willing to negotiate. So let me bring that up to 200. So it's, yep. All right, well, you're not bringing it down nearly as much as I'm bringing it up, but let's go up to 212. I'll be a little nice. All right, so he's agreed to it. That was actually a pretty sizable contract. Let me see also if we can get this finally. No, all right, well, so much for that. What, so that was cereal? Is that under industry? No, that's going to be under farming, I guess. Yeah, cereals. So we got Happy Faces. It's a very low price. It's too large, it exceeds our needs. What do you mean it exceeds our needs? Yeah, I don't know what they mean. We don't produce anywhere near this amount. This actually fills a good quota of our needs. It may just impair the cereal economy a little bit, but hey, look, the law has been passed. The Save Israel from Debt Reform in Parliament has been passed. So now Parliament works on a majority system. Parliament's term has been extended to 5 years instead of 4, which technically puts their elections at the same time as my elections. Parliament has no power anymore, so I could get rid of elections for all I care. And now my people are a little upsetty. But now that means I don't need to worry about what Parliament thinks when I do anything. Unless I want to get reelected. Unless I get rid of elections. If I want to solve the debt, I just need to worry about what the people think. So I've just spent a few $100,000 probably pulling around to try to find taxes that my people are okay with. One such tax is the tax on company turnover, which is a really good tax for getting money in 2019. I'm not going to go crazy with it. It's at 1.89% right now. I'm just going to up it to 2.5%. It will get us another 1.3 apparently billion, which would definitely help. I'm going to move slowly here because there's no more real cheesy taxes that I'm aware of. I don't know the implications of some of these taxes. Like, I checked, the people would actually prefer it if I just maxed that tax out to 10%. But that's going to have an effect on the economy, on our growth, and that could be bad. That could hurt the unemployment, which has been steadily going back down after I accidentally fired all the conscripts. The tax on large fortunes also would definitely break our monetary problem here. It would fix it. However, I don't know the long-term effects of this in the game. If I do max it out, I just know the people would love it. But people tend to be stupid, and they love really stupid things. Just go ask the average person on the street about politics and see what stupid shit happens. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, nothing interesting happening in the paper. Yeah. So I just want to take things bit by bit at a time. Our tax on large fortunes is already one of the highest in the world that I can find if I search real-life examples of the tax on large fortunes. Tax on company turnover, I have gotten to like 10% playing as the USA in 2019 edition, so I'm not afraid to play with this one. I'm also not afraid to play with this in small amounts, despite seeing that it has a big effect here, because I tested it if I put it up to 5%. If I just put it up to this, suddenly it's better. I don't think the people liked it, but it could solve my problems if increased incrementally. So this won't be as rush of a, ooh, here, let's edit one tax. Oh, look, we have money for the rest of the playthrough as we experienced the past two playthroughs, but we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it now that Congress is out of our hair. Okay, so the law on tax company turnover has gone through. Weekly economic calculations have gone through as well. Our growth is doing pretty well. It was growing again, and it's gone back down just a peg. It's actually in a really good place at the moment, especially when you consider that we have an oil well that will be done in 40 days and may revolutionize our tiny economy. I actually set this airbase to demolish because I had forgotten to do that. I took the units out of it, but our infiltrated unit was spotted and murdered. Yeah, this keeps happening, like, repeatedly, unfortunately. I'm just going to give him another, like, 100 agents because he doesn't have enough, clearly. Yeah, he still can't do that. I'm going to need to increase his funding here, but first thing comes first, and that's figuring out this whole debt situation. My party never would have agreed, the parliament never would have agreed to raising this tax on company turnover. It doesn't seem to be having much of an effect just yet, but I may just not be waiting long enough, so I'm going to set it to 3%. And set it through again, which should generate another billion, according to the game. That gives us plenty of time to wait and see if it does have an effect on growth. If it has a major effect on growth, that's fine. The amounts I've adjusted it by right now will easily be made up by just throwing down oil wells and opening up a new sector of the economy, because we don't have a single oil well. And if it doesn't get affected too much, then we should be able to actually just raise this singular tax in order to pay off the rest of it. Because whereas they did fix, for the most part, the tax on industrial pollution, it doesn't look like they fixed the tax on company turnover. And then once the debt is fixed, we will reclaim another $5 billion once it's all paid off, that is. At the very least, it will start going down, thus we will start making money more and more over time, assuming it keeps up with our raising healthcare and social security costs. But I should be able to raise it even to like a max of 10%, honestly, if it works the same way it does in 2019 without needing to worry about many consequences. And then I should be able to start improving life for our population, doing things to improve purchasing power. I've seen a lot of things that I can do, boost other sectors of our economy. I haven't shown you this yet, by the way, so I'll show you it now. If we take a look at Israel's economy, we'll see in farming, there's some things we don't have. We're about half active here. Take a look at the service industry. We'll see, we're still on farming. The UI in the 2020 edition is very laggy and very unresponsive compared to the 2019 edition. So if I mess up like that, excuse me. We're all in almost on services. We just don't have fast food. That's something I can reboot myself. The Postal Service is nationalized. I'll probably end up fixing that eventually. Yeah, we could probably get away with that, no problem. I'll probably save it for now. And the industry is, well, look at this. Half of it or more is turned off. So this is all stuff I'm probably going to have to manually reset. There's going to be a lot of time spent on economics working on this country. Energy, on the other hand, is simpler because it's just about what you build. And at the moment, everything's turned on except uranium. This would be the only thing I'd have to reset, if any, if we even have access to uranium. We've gotten something soon done. Okay, well, I do believe that we have a nice full episode here. So thank you guys very much for watching. Again, I hope that you are enjoying this brand new series. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I guess I'll see you on the next episode.